過ぎた季節が嘘だとしても重ねたぬくもりは嘘じゃない君が残した背中の傷跡は今もずっと甘くてだからずっと痛くて
Yo, what it do, guys? It is your boy, Leon Moki here, and I'm back with you with another new chapter of the Samurai Heroes. And honestly, I'm glad that you guys liked the other chapter. I knew that it wasn't going to get a lot of, likes and publicity like before, like the others, but that's not what I was going for. These chapters in this series is more of a tribute to a great friend who was more like a brother to me. And that's the reason why I want to continue this series. I won't be, mainly focusing on this series, unlike my other ones, such as, Fate Unlimited DxD, or the Nightly Prince of Kuo, or even the Shadow Tamer DxD, and the Radiant Hero of Light and Darkness, and the future children of the number one hero. So this story will just mostly be remaining on the side. Like I said, this is more of a tribute series than anything. So, for a short recap, basically, the god Izanagi has chosen Masamune, Yukimura, Ieyasu, and Mitsunari as his champions and to lead the Shinto faction's human side and to protect Japan, no matter what. Because of that, now the four legendary heroes of the Sengoku era are now training to be the leaders that they need to be. So, with that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? Chapter 2 starts in a new era. The four legendary heroes of the Sengoku Warring States periods: Masamune, Yukimura, Ieyasu, and Mitsunari. The four boys, now currently their new reincarnated selves as 13-year-old boys, but now having to learn on things that they need to catch up on, giving that of world history, politics, math, science, and many, many other things as well. Given that the four are, completely different from each other, let's just say things do not go as easy as planned. For example, Masamune, he's not studious and he doesn't take lessons in learning that seriously. Don't get him wrong. No matter what he does, he's always going to pass them and succeed no matter what. However, to him, he believes stuff like this is a waste of time, where he could be using this time to be fighting or training, or find a good party out there to have some fun at, basically clashing his blades with a good foe, which has caused a lot of problems for Masamune. But even so, he still does his duties as the future heads of the 5 principal clans. Yukimura, however, he's diligent in his studies, training, and learning. However, he always puts himself down, believing that he's not truly worthy to be a leader yet, given that this is still a Yukimura who follows Takeda Shingen to the very end, who never strays from his master, even though he's already worthy enough to be a true leader of a clan already. Ieyasu and Mitsunari, on the other hand, the two were already that of clan leaders, to be fair, with Ieyasu being clan head since the day he was 15 years old, and not only that, also took up the mantle of being leader of many other clan heads too, so he's already prepared for that. As for Mitsunari, sure, he's a follower, however, he is a follower who is willing to take up the leadership role if necessary. given that he wanted vengeance for his Lord Hideyoshi against Ieyasu. He wasn't afraid to use anybody or anything for his vengeance against the man who betrayed their lord in the past, after all. So there's that too. So the only problem is with the, one-eyed dragon of Oshu and the tiger's cub of Takeda. So, which leaves the head somewhat hesitant, as with that of Yasuka Nakagami as well, with another person also there as well, as it being the head of the Himejima clan, Suwa Himejima, who is quite the elderly old man, actually. Almost looks like he's in his 60s right now, with Suwa saying, "It seems the other heads of the clans refuse to show up." With Nakagami saying, "I can't really blame them, to be fair. They, honestly, given what has happened for the past couple of years, lately many members of the heads have been starting to lose faith with the Shinto gods after all, which is sad, but it cannot be helped." But then Yasuka can help say, "If anything, it is your all faults for allowing such things to happen, to be fair." With soon both heads of their clans can help but look at the yokai leader. With then Sui can help say, "Ugh, I won't lie. After what happened with Shuri, I can't help but feel like I'm responsible for this as well. I should have eased our clan's, fears and discrimination towards the other races. Instead, now my great grandniece Akano is gone, and my niece Shuri is now dead, who was supposed to be my successor. Such things I should have kept a good eye on." With then Namagiri saying, Do not threat. And honestly, it's not the Himejima clan too that's also suffered such things. Like, for example, young Tsubaki, for example. She was originally supposed to be the clan's head, but instead she decided to become a reincarnated devil and abandon the Shinra family. But we can't fault her for making her own decisions. Foolish they may be, they're her own, after all. Within Yasuka saying, "Wait, isn't she supposed to be that of a 14-year-old child? Why would she?" With then Sui can help say, "It's the strain of becoming a clan heir. The pain of having to live up to that expectations. If she wanted to run away from the duties, she could have just passed it on to one of her other relatives. But instead, she chose to run away by becoming a reincarnation devil. To be honest, it is our clans and our faults that things have turned out like this." With soon Yasuka saying, "And how have they been taking the fact that the 5 principal clans will be under new leadership?" As the two heads look back at the yokai leader, Yamagami can help say, "You want the short answer or the long answer about how angry many of them are, especially the elders. It's also the other reason why the three other heads refuse to show up as well for this meeting of ours." With Yasuka couldn't help but sighing and saying, we still have time. Give me the long version if you can." With Namagiri sighing, saying, "Okay, I'll give you the long version. Turns out the other heads are not so happy about, wanting their clans to be led by children, even though these children are literally the reincarnations of the greatest heroes and leaders of the Sengoku Warring States period. They still, to many of them, a child is a child. For example, the Kusahashi clan doesn't like the fact that they are now going to be taking orders from a bunch of outsiders. Even if these outsiders were great heroes, they have no business with the affairs of their own clan. That's what the clan head has said. As for the heir, Shayu, for example, he said that he could care less if it turns out he's pretty easygoing about the fact that they'll be taking orders from somebody else. Because of that, the current head is not so fond of the facts. He's even thinking about choosing a different successor if the future head is so easygoing about this. The Doman clan, let's just say they are not as happy too. The current head, she's currently not as fond of the fact that they're also to be taking orders from that of mere children. Once again, they're grown men and that of children's bodies. But other than that, they're still to her, they're still children. I feel bad for her daughter, for example, Gembu. She's a good girl and good kid. But with a mother like that who refuses to listen to reason, I have a hard time when she's going to be able to get the fact of what it truly means to be a clan heir under the Shinto pantheon's name. As for the Shinra clan, how do I put this? Within Yasuka saying, just say it. What soon? The black-haired man couldn't help but sigh, saying they don't really give a damn. They don't really care on if the five principal clans are under new management or anything like that. They just want to know if one of them is strong enough to tame them, the tigers that they are. And personally, they already have somebody that they want to fight to prove if he's able to rule them. With soon, Yasuka's eyes saying, I'm guessing, within Sori saying, yes, young Sarada Yukimura, or Sir Yukimura, I should just say. The boy has a lot to prove. With then Yasuka couldn't help but sigh, saying, so that's the reason that they prefer not to be here. Two of the heads are indifferent to basically being under new leaders, while the other one could care less unless one of them proves that they are worthy to be led under them. What if we just tell Lady Amaterasu and the rest of the other gods about this instead? Wouldn't it not be easier? Then Yamagi sighed once again, saying, that's the thing. She rathers not. After all, as long as it doesn't involve the 5 guardian spirits being taken or being destroyed or anything like that, she will not interfere. Neither any of the other gods as well. I'm guessing they believe that this is a trial that the 4 boys must overcome themselves. With then Yasuka sighing at the fact about this. But soon she's saying, only just reincarnated into this world for only about 2 weeks, and yet they are already dealing with problems like this as leaders. With soon Sori saying, personally, if this wasn't an order from the great god Izanagi and Lady Amaterasu, I would also be against this as well. My only problem is with that of supernatural races outside of my clan, to be fair. I wouldn't want any of my descendants to having to deal with something like this, which they shouldn't have to listen to others. But orders are orders by our illustrious gods after all. Hearing this, Yasuka stands up from the table with Tsun saying, I'll be telling if that's the case, I'll tell the boys now. Then Namagiri saying, please don't. Honestly, I think it's best that we keep this a secret and we'll keep this in internal affairs. But then Yasuka saying, you do know that these boys are your leaders now. You should tell them. Saying, and we will in due time when they're finally ready. They just arrived and they still need to have their lessons and training. I'd rather if we didn't basically throw them into something as drastic and as dangerous as this already. But then Yasuke saying, you're underestimating them. Saying, no, I'm not. I'm just being cautious. That's all. They're not in their original prime of what they used to be. They're now boys, children now. If we throw them to basically grown men and women, especially towards a bunch of clans who dislike them for just merely existing, I'd rather me protecting them than them getting themselves killed. With that, soon, Yasuke sits back down, saying, I hope you're right. But if you're that afraid, allow me to take one of them back to me in Kyoto. With soon hearing this, Sui raises one of his eyes, saying, what are you thinking, you nine-tailed fox? With soon Yasuke saying, if you're so worried for one of your precious leaders of dying, then allow me to take one of them back to Kyoto. Continue their studies and training there. At least one of them will be safe. I am strictly under the command of Lady Amaterasu, and she's following orders from that of Lord Izanagi. So, to be fair, it doesn't matter if any of you say, currently I am following my orders to make sure to protect those boys, especially if it has to be one of them. With soon Namagiri sighing before taking a sip of his tea and saying, if that's the case, who do you would take? With soon Yasuke saying, Tokugawa Ieyasu. With soon the two saying, what? Saying he's the more rash and cautious one. I would take Yukimura, but he's still, indecisive. With then soon Sori saying, don't worry about that boy. Or Lord Sarada. I actually have a way to actually bring up his confidence to prove that he truly is worthy of leading. I plan on telling him to meet one of my great nieces after all, who will be my successor. With soon Amagiri couldn't say, so we plan on making him meet with Suzaku. Within Suri saying yes. She was just made clan heir about a year ago. It's only natural. He should probably meet somebody else who wasn't originally supposed to be clan head. To him, he believes that he was just chosen out of a whim. So, why not basically meet somebody that's basically in his predicament, or that he thinks is in the same predicament as him? With that, Nakagiri couldn't help but say, good plan. What about the other two? Lord Masamune and Lord Mitsunari. With soon Sori saying, as much as I hate to say it, Lord Date Masamune is capable of handling himself. He may be a rowdy, ungrateful, and unruly child, but he has the courage and he has the wisdom to lead. Which makes sense, given that, even his historical counterparts, he was known to be that of a reckless buffoon who charges straight into battle alongside his men, no matter what, which is pretty accurate to him. As for Lord Ishida Mishinari, he's capable of handling himself. I think I'm just more afraid that he figures things out and basically tries to threaten us or anything like that. Or threaten any of the other clan heads as well. Afraid that he may do whatever it takes to get their loyalty under him more than anything, given his, historical accuracy about him being a cold and calculating leader, even as a boy. But then Yasuke saying, it's that exact reason why I prefer to take Ieyasu out of the three. So, is that understood? And do we have a deal? With then the two heads look at each other. They both sigh, saying, agreed. You can take him by tomorrow. With then Yasuka saying, thank you, you two. Before her ears basically perk up as she soon opens the door fast and look around. With soon Nagiri saying, what's that about? With saying, I thought I heard somebody, but I guess not. Either way, I must take my leave now. Good day to the two of you. With that, Yasuka soon leaves. With soon, however, somebody was there, and it being Mitsunari, as he's now getting the handle of his new sacred gear, as it's called the Mugen no Kage, or rather, the Infinite Shadow, which allows him to create darkness and shadow magic, while also turning his body, while also having that of demonic magic as well. He can even turn his entire body into that of darkness and shadows to evade attacks and damage as well. In simpler terms, think of it as, well, Blackbeard's, devil fruit abilities from One Piece. As Mitsunari heard the entire conversation, part of him couldn't help but say, well, it looks like we have quite a bit of a problem already on our hands. I should probably tell the others about this. Or rather, as soon he looks over to his side saying, I know you're there, Miyabi. You can come out now, you silly girl. As soon a girl in that of her mid-teens, that looks like that of a 16-year-old, with a quite curvaceous figure, with that of white hair and golden eyes with slit pupils, as she looks like as she's part yokai. Soon saying, my apologies, Lord Ishida. My duties is to follow you and shadow you to protect you. That was what I was given by. That's what I was told by Lord Izanagi when he gave me the visions, saying, I'm aware. But I'm guessing you heard everything too. Saying, of course I have. And personally, I believe that it's foolish that many of the clan heads and some of the heirs believe that you and the rest are not worthy. To be fair, they should be put to death for such insolence. So, Mitsunari saying, of course, I believe that too. However, killing will not give true loyalty. It will only bring in more dissent, unfortunately. So, and personally, I'd rather if I take care of this myself. However, I'm supposed to be working on teamwork. So I must tell the others as well. Even if I don't... The only person I'd rather tell this to is Sarada, and that's it. The other two, I'd rather not. But it can't be helped. Come, Miyabi. Saying, yes, my lord. But soon she disappears as well. Back with the other three, Masamune basically doing some work, as he's constantly getting annoyed at all of this, saying, ugh, this is so damn boring. With soon just basically tossing the papers into the air. With soon something quick within the air basically catches all the papers and they're now all stacked up right behind Masamune, as what's behind them is a squirrel, saying, damn you, Makoto. With soon a girl that looks like the same age as, Masamune, with that of a bushy tail and squirrel ears and brunette hair, with wearing that of a kimono, could help but say, sorry, my lord, I just thought it'd be fun, and personally, messing with you is just as much fun as anything. With soon saying, why the hell was I given a freaking babysitter? Well, I was given this order from Lady Amaterasu herself, alongside Lady Yasuka, appointing me your personal caretaker, and to make sure that you take your duties as a leader seriously. Soon, Masamune saying, and what makes you think I don't? With soon, she's saying, really? You want me to answer that, do you? With then, soon, Masamune having that of a twitching eye, saying, "Ugh, God, I hate you all." With then Yukimura saying, "Come now, my lord Masamune. I think you're overreacting. You should be grateful to have somebody to look after you." With then saying, "Oh, shut it, Sarada. At least you don't even have a babysitter. Unlike me and that bastard Mitsunari." Soon, Ieyasu saying, "Speaking of, where is Mitsunari? I haven't seen him almost all day." Within, the doors soon slide open as soon as they speak of the devil. With then soon, Masamune saying, "Oh, there he is, Mr. Emo Face." But soon, Mitsunari getting annoyed at that insult, saying, "Shut it, lizard, and listen to what I have to say, because it's very important." With then soon, Yukimura saying, "What is it, Lord Mitsunari?" With saying, "Personally, I'd rather just tell you this instead, Sarada, instead of these fools." With then hearing that, Masamune saying, "What did you?" Soon Ieyasu saying, "Please, Masamune, Mitsunari, please, can you?" Saying, "But I will not allow my past grudges and my emotions dictate my actions to think logically and rationally as a leader, especially of an entire faction." With soon hearing this, Ieyasu stopped holding back on Masamune, and Masamune basically just crosses his arms saying, "Explain." But soon, Mitsunari began explaining the situation with the current, 5 principal clans of the Shinto faction. Within, all four of them now sitting down, with both Makoto and Miyabi standing on the side. But soon hearing this, Yukimura couldn't help but feel somewhat downcast. With soon, Ieyasu couldn't help but feel a little bit, saddened at this. And Masamune, a little bit frustrated, annoyed, and pissed. With Mitsunari closing his eyes and not saying anything. But deep down, he's also annoyed at this fact as well. With soon, Masamune speak out saying, "Are we just going to allow this bullshit to continue? Just because they think of us as mere children?" With soon, Yukimura saying, I understand their frustrations with me, but the three of you are all true great leaders, amazing clan heads. Why would they not?" Soon Ieyasu saying, "Because they know nothing about us. They may know about our legends, our deeds, the things we have done during our battles together and against each other, but they have not met us personally. They know nothing of who we truly are deep down." Within, Mitsunari saying, "Personally, I would rather we just kill the current heads, and if the heirs do not listen to us, we'll kill them as well. But personally, that's not necessary, and I'd rather not create any more dissent as there already is." With soon, Masamune saying, "Then why don't we just take the bullshit to them, right here and now?" With soon, everybody looks at the former one-eyed dragon, as he doesn't have his traditional eye patch anymore, as he continues seeing out of 2 eyes. With soon, Masamune saying, we'll take them on. We'll prove that we're stronger than them." With then Ieyasu saying, "Then what do you expect, Masamune? You really believe fighting them and basically proving that you're stronger than them is going to help?" But then Yukimura saying, "I agree. Sometimes fighting it out, testing your strength one at a time, proving who you truly are is what it truly means to be a clan, to prove that you're worthy of leadership. I personally still don't think I am." With soon, Mitsunari saying, "Enough, Sarada. You are worthy. You're worthy of all of us being your equal, and that is a fact. Take pride in that as always." With soon, Yukimura saying, "Lord Mitsunari," saying, "But you also have to meet with the heir of the Himejima clan. That's and make it look like you don't know about the meeting. What soon say? You want me to pretend? What soon Masamune couldn't help but laugh, saying, "You really want Sarada to lie? The guy's not that good at it. Trust me. The guy is too honest to a fault. Just like a certain other someone I know who's too honest to a fault." As he soon looks at Iyasu, with Iyasu scratching the back of his head, with soon Mitsunari can help but say, "Then deal with it. He needs to. And it's only a simple white lie to show that you don't know about the meeting. It's not anything too major to worry about." With then soon Masamune can tell, even so. Well, as for me, I think I had a little speech to prepare for. Makoto, with soon looking at the squirrel girl, saying, yes, Lord Masamune, you're gonna help me prepare a little speech for all the heads and heirs who don't even trust me and the boys here. Saying, seriously? Saying, oh, I'm dead serious. If they're going to continue underestimating us because we may be children and not at our peaks of an adulthood, they're going to be truly misunderstanding. What soon? Iyasu saying, as for me, it seems like I'll be going to Kyoto instead of staying here in Tokyo. I wonder how that's going to go. Or rather, how will the others react? But then Yukimura saying, I believe you should take it, Lord Iyasu. With Iyasu looking at Yukimura, saying, Master Yukimura, I don't want you to go. I believe it's best that we all four of us stay together. But if you go to Kyoto, you can explain the situation there, give us more of an insight into the Shinto faction. If our duties is to lead the human side, maybe you can tell us on what it's like on the yokai side. With then Iyasu holding his fingers to his chin, with Sue saying, I think I get it. I understand. It does make a lot more sense. If I can, I'll be trying to make reports back to the three of you during my time in Kyoto, saying, if you could, make it an extended stay. I think it's best if we can get some allies in Kyoto, said Mitsunari, as Iyasu saying, I understand, but I rather make my bonds with that of respect and that of true trust and loyal and love. With then soon Mitsunari saying, do what you like, just make sure that it isn't in the way of our duties as leaders. With soon Masamune saying, well then, we got a plan to do. Alright, anyone up for a little bit of sparring and training right now? With soon, all four of them couldn't have that look of saying, what do you take me for? Soon, Masamune saying, then let's begin, shall we? As Masamune soon snaps his fingers, as then a white void engulfs the entirety of the room, with the only people there being those who were in the room, as this being that of void magic, with creating that of a separate pocket space dimension, separated from the world that they once were, where time has now stopped temporarily. With then, as this being unique magic, only unique to the four of them, given to them by Izanagi. As for their original powers, abilities, and their weapons returned to them by Izanagi and everything else, and also receiving new sacred gears as well. Izanagi believed that the reason that made them legends who they are is the strength that they gained during their times as warriors and samurai. For this, they needed a way to continue to train to reach that peak that they once were, or even go beyond that level as well. Given that the supernatural world has beings that are even more powerful than him, as originally the God of the Bible was his equal. However, during the Great War, he died, which even proves that gods can die as well. Now knowing this fact, the four of them now had to become strong enough that even rogue gods won't even be able to stop them as well. During their time, during the past 2 weeks, as them learning to become leaders, they've been slowly gaining their strength back to the ones at their peak by training into this void room with not just their weapons, but also with their new sacred gears. As the sacred gear of Mitsunari being the Mugen no Kage, Ieyasu's sacred gear is the Shining Force, as it gives, Ieyasu the power of holy energy, as he's able to coat his entire body and his fists, legs, and even other things with that of holy light. He's even able to have that short teleportation with his holy light, not on the same level as Mitsunari with his darkness, but close enough. Yukimura's sacred gear is called the Kasha, or rather, the Blazing Tiger. Basically, he already has the ability to create flames. However, with his sacred gears, his flames are basically amplified to high levels to creating that of an infinite inferno. Not only that, he's even able to actually transmogrify his body into that of a tiger, or even have that of a humanoid tiger form, basically like a Zoan type devil fruit from One Piece again. So yeah, another One Piece reference for you guys. As his physical strength, speed, and durability are amplified to that of inhuman levels. And given that he already was on the level of inhuman back into his prime, so yeah, that's just more amplified than before. And last but not least, Masamune's sacred gear. It's called the Kaminari Ryu, or Lightning Dragon, which once again basically get just like that of Yukimura's Kasha. Once again, this sacred gear also turns, Masamune's body into that of a dragon. Not the full-size dragon, but more of a humanoid dragon form. But even so, it gives him that of the aspects and power of an actual dragon. Even amplifies his lightning powers with lightning magic 10 times more than before. And a little bit of a heads up, each of these sacred gears, personally created by Izanagi himself, also have an aspect and small essence of himself. Basically, they're on the same level, or rather are Longinus sacred gears, basically god-killing sacred gears. So with that, these four are already broken as hell. And now with this void magic that gives them their very own pocket space that allows them to train as hard and as long as they want, making them even stronger than a 13-year-old boy should be. With that, the four of them basically go all out on each other, never holding anything back, no matter what, with each of them sparring with each other, and even jumping the other in case they need to, as they wanting to get a handle on every one of their abilities and strengths, with even trying to figure out many other ways to improve their sacred gears in the process. They haven't unlocked their balance breaker yet, but given enough training like this, it will only be a matter of time until the four of them do, which their sparring session lasts for at least around that of, 5 hours. However, for them, for outside their pocket dimension, it hasn't even been 1 second yet, with all four of them basically exhausted as hell, with them basically laying on the ground as in that of an X pattern, with soon Mitsunari saying, "I think we've had enough." But soon Masamune saying, "I can't believe I'm agreeing with you, but yeah, I think that's enough sparring for one day." But soon Yukimura saying, then allow me. As soon he snaps his fingers, but soon all four of them are back into into their study room. With soon Ieyasu stands back up. With soon his body begins glowing that of a pure white yellow light. With soon all of the blood, scars, broken bones that he had all across his body are now gone. Saying, "Allow me." But soon the light begins to fade over all the other three. But soon their wounds began to disappear as well. But soon saying, "That sacred gear of yours is really coming in handy, Tokugawa." With soon Ieyasu saying, "Thank you, Lord Masamune. I figuring out that my sacred gear also has healing properties was quite interesting as well." With soon Mitsunari saying, "It would be hard to explain our injuries when we told them that we were training at the first time when we knew we had the void magic. But now with your sacred gear, we'll be able to hide our injuries a lot more easier and train a lot more faster. I can't believe that you actually have more of a Yuso as you used to be." Soon Ieyasu saying, "You've actually complimented me again, Mitsunari. I'm surprised. You haven't complimented me since years ago." Saying, "That was before you killed our Lord. Don't think I will ever forgive you for that. But I will let my anger for you slide for now." But soon Ieyasu has his head down saying, "I understand. The sin of killing our Lord is mine to bear. That I understand the most." With then Mitsunari looking back at Ieyasu saying, "At least you understand that." With soon Miyabi going to her lord saying, "My lord, would you?" Saying, I'm going to take a bath after that training. We've already made plans before, so be prepared." But soon Masamune saying, I need a bath too. I'm going with you." Saying, Don't annoy me, you worthless dragon." Saying, "Same thing goes for you, you emo bastard." Saying, "I should go too to make sure they don't kill each other." As Yukimura says this, soon Ieyasu saying, "I'll catch up. I think there's some things I need to figure out as well." With soon the other three begin going as Masamune and Mitsunari were about to bicker, if it wasn't for Yukimura stepping in for the two of them to stop from time to time. As Ieyasu saying, "Bearing the sin of killing one's lord. I killed Lord Hideyoshi because I believed that what he was doing for the land was truly evil, that he wasn't truly bringing a land of peace as he wanted. But now knowing the truth, now knowing that he was influenced by somebody of pure evil, maybe I have a chance to make things right. Maybe I have a chance to live up to Lord Hideyoshi's words of wanting to bring back a land of peace. Don't worry, my lord. From now on, I will not just bear my dream of creating a land created by the bonds that we all share of love and understanding, but also with your strength and determination as well." As Ieyasu says this with determination, little did he know he was being watched by a certain busty kitsune woman. But soon she came up and say, "That boy, or rather that man, is something else, I should say." With then Yasuka leaving as well, saying, "I think I made the right choice choosing to look after him than the others." Soon Yasuka couldn't help but smile, in that of reassurance and joy. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I would love to read them. Sorry that this whole chapter felt more like, political strife and backhand deals and all that. I don't want to just rush through things like some, well, fanfic writers like to do, and I want to do this right. At least for the next 2 chapters, we're going to be focusing on, well, on our 4 samurai heroes trying to gain the respect and loyalty of the other clans, either by force or by understanding. So prepare for that. Also, as for the harems, I'm giving these guys harems, but not Ieyasu actually. He's only going to have 1 main girl, and I'm pretty sure if you guys watch this chapter, you guys already know who that main girl is. As for Masamune, Yukimura, and Mitsunari, you'll have to wait until the next chapter where I'll basically show on who's going to be in their harem. So yeah. So if you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell notification to keep up to date on my videos when I update on this channel. Also, check out my Discord, my gaming channel, my main channel, and my Patreon. All linked in the description below. So, with all that said, this is Leon Milky, signing out. Later, guys, and I hope you all take care.